Hi, Zizaran here with another harvest video. This is for the power siphon guide that I just made a build guide for, a more up-to-date one. This is going to be a craft the build. So this build has a lot of more advanced gear, and I want to go over each piece of gear and tell you how I crafted it and alternatives and upgrades and stuff. So let's start with the wand. The most important thing you need is a hunter wand. And these are extremely easy to create. Ideally, you want really high attack speed. You don't really need imbued, but as high attack speed as you can get, basically, is the most important thing here. You want to use a deafening essence of wrath, I believe it's called. And then you want to either clean up the prefixes. I think you can do remove non-lightning and add lightning as well, because the suffixes don't matter. Oh, actually, that's true. The non-lightning to lightning can remove the cannot roll caster mod. So ideally, you do want to have clean prefixes. So you'd want to use the deafening essence, and then have the lightning damage there, and then no other prefixes. So remove them with whatever you end up with. Try to remove them, and you can do the non-lightning to lightning, but you could end up removing the cannot roll caster mods. Thankfully, this is only 5 blessed orbs, so it's a lot cheaper than cannot roll attack mods, which is 1x. But then you can do augment lightning as a prefix, and when you augment that prefix, it is either going to hit the 1 to 6 lightning damage to attacks, or it'll hit, I think it's lightning damage that's extra chaos. But either way, it's easy to remove the other one. So that's really nice. It's very, very easy to remove. So I think you just do remove chaos on the last one, and then you basically have these as your 2 prefixes, right? So they're easy to guarantee. Then you're sitting there with the hunter mod and the essence mod, and you have an open prefix, and that we can do. We'll put in. I'll talk about the last prefix later. Now for the suffixes, I think I wiped them using the prefixes cannot be changed and then scour. Then I did quite a lot of augment attack modifier and then remove attack, add attack, trying to get attack speed. I was doing that while having prefixes cannot be changed, so I couldn't, accidentally remove my 2 of the attack prefixes. So that's pretty expensive. If you augment attack as the suffix, there's not that much you can hit. You can hit crit, attack speed, projectile speed, and stuff like that. So probably the best bet is doing the prefixes cannot be changed and playing around with the augment attacks and stuff like that. You can guarantee the intimidate with doing augment physical as the suffix. There's no other physical suffixes except for the physical damage converted to chaos, and that one is exceedingly easy to remove with the remove chaos. So you're not going to get stuck by a mod. And the intimidate's really nice. It actually goes up to 15%, I think, but I think 11% is fine since we attack so fast. So any boss or something that I would need more damage from is going to be intimidated. So that pretty much sums up the wand, and you want to get the elemental damage per quality instead of the fizz quality. And then I crafted the 13% attack speed for 1x. So the wand isn't actually that hard to make, considering how powerful it is. It's mostly about having the hunter influence base. Go for the glove next. The glove as well was surprisingly easy to make. What I did here first is I rolled with alterations until I got tier 1 int. That was the hardest part. Then I did an augment and regal, and I think I ended up removing both of those mods, just doing remove, cold, whatever they ended up being. And as you can see, most of this is just spamming. You need augment speed for the prefix, and then you need to augment defense to try to hit a defensive roll. The other ones were augment attack. So to get 70% crit multi, you might have to play around with remove attack and add attack, but getting this wasn't actually too hard. I think I only had to use 2 or 3 remove attack, add attack. So they're surprisingly nice to make. There is another option too, doing shaper gloves with slower projectiles in them. Slower projectiles is a pretty good damage modifier, but I feel like faster attacks and the faster attacks and the 70 crit multi, as well as having faster projectiles, is really nice. You can see how fast it travels. And I don't have projectile speed on my weapon, so I found these were very, very nice and easy to make. And I happen to have Elder Sorcerer gloves throwing around, and I didn't really have any good shaper bases. So slower projectiles on gloves don't have attacks. You can't augment these with attack or something. You kind of have to roll them first. So getting something with slower projectiles and int is very, very hard. There's something else cool I've seen a few other people doing, which is the insanity essence on gloves like this, which you can do instead of the faster attack support. I think Insanity is a bit overkill and not super worth in my opinion. I'm very happy with the damage of my Kinetic Blast. In-game tooltip with nothing up is 235,000 damage. Belt, kill the Elder. And then catalyze it. Ideally, you do want 15% belt because it jumps up to 18% increased attributes then. For the rings, for these, I just got item level 86 rings and I used a deafening essence of spite. And then I did the fracture suffixes thing. I'll show you how that looks. That one. You can do the one with 5 too. It's just a lower chance. And then once it fractured the intelligence, ideally you do want to divine it, but you know it's not every time. And I had very little room to divine things. So for me, I just settled for 56 to 58 before fracturing it, because you can't divine it afterwards. Fracturing, what it does is it keeps it it locks it into your item, right? It makes it a core part of the item. It can't be changed in any way, but the rest of the ring can. So once I had that, I just spammed attack mods until I got the elemental damage to be with attack skills to be tier 1 there. And then I did augment lightning. I think I filled it up with fire and cold resist, actually. The suffixes first, just to make sure that there was no lightning suffix. And then I did remove lightning, add lightning until I hit tier 1 lightning. Then I did remove fire, add fire until I got tier 1 fire. And then I do the resist changer. This one grants a modifier, and then you have one that grants fire resist into one that grants lightning resist, right? So then you can get the tier you want without without having multiple rolls that it's choosing from. Pretty easy to make as well. It's very it's a matter of time. It's not like very RNG to get it. It's very it very much makes use of the deterministic crafting system that we have now. The helmet as well, not very hard. Obviously the enchant is a massive pain to get. Other than that is the deafening essence of spite. For the defenses, I basically just played around with remove defense, add defense until I hit high energy shield rolls. You could get higher than this, but I'm certainly not going to. This is more than enough for me. And the accuracy is the only attack roll, and you really do want that. I've thought about doing higher accuracy, but I didn't have that many remove attack add because I used so many making the jewels, which we'll talk about later. And then the cold rest, obviously very easy. Remove, add cold until you get tier 1. The amulet, massive pain in the ass to get. I ideally would want a lapis amulet so I could get another 20 int or something there. I basically used any harvest craft at all until I got intelligence. The percentage intelligence roll was all I was looking for. This was with either I think it was with a reroll life craft. I did use quite a lot of defense too, but I basically used anything. So I was basically chaos spamming this thing using harvest. And then with a reforged item with life mods, it hits tier 1 intelligence. Sorry, tier 2 intelligence and percentage in tier 1. And I was like, wow, so happy, right? It's better than anything I could have dreamed of. I would have just gone for like 2 crit mods or something, or I don't know, crafted intelligence. But yeah, this is amazing. So happy with it. And then I just did remove crit, add crit until I got crit multiplier. This one, I'm probably only thing about my build I kind of want to change. I could get tier 1 crit multi. As far as the influence, I did augment. I had the 2 defensive mods here. So, percentage ES and flat ES. And these as well, I could, think about getting higher. Same with my rings. The defense on them are pretty low. But the last one, the damage per power charge, what I did was augment item with influence modifier. And let me bring up amulets here on the PoE mod website. If we look at amulets and we look at Crusader prefixes, you'll see if you do augment with influence, it's going to hit either fist damage as extra lightning. Well, actually, the important takeaway here is lightning, 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 life. All of these are removable if we don't hit what we want. None of the other ones are good. None of these we want. But these are all removable. And if it hits damage per intelligence, this is 90% increased damage. And this one is 45. So I was quite happy with either of those. This one is a pain to remove. You can do remove. Yeah, no, it's a pain. You can remove these. So I settled for that. But yeah, and this is the one I was hoping for. And then these we could have removed with remove lightning. And I could have just gone for flat added lightning too. That's also an option. Then this one, I did Deafening Essence of Spite on this, and it should be Divine, but I'm lazy with that. And then once you have the Intelligence and you have 2 open suffixes, you can augment with Crit, and the only suffixes you can hit, you can either hit the Assassin's Mark, or you can hit the Global Crit Chance. And then if you augment twice, then you're guaranteed to hit the crit chance, and you can, you can do the remove crit, and it's a 50-50 chance that it keeps the one that you want. So you just do that until you have Assassin's Mark, it's the only suffix. Then you can augment a resist, whatever you need. As for the prefixes, you can do a lot better than this. So what I could do, for example, now I could do remove defense, get rid of the evasion, and hopefully not the energy shield. And then I could temporarily store the lightning resist as cold resist, and then I augment lightning as the last prefix, and then I do remove lightning, add lightning until I get tier 1 lightning to attacks. Once I have that, then I can put my lightning resist back, do cold resist to lightning again. The elemental damage with attack skills, that's a bit of a pain. I'd have to spam a lot of remove attack, add attack until I got that. The shield, actually extremely easy to do. I just spammed the reroll reforged with defense on a titanium spirit shield. The hardest thing again is just having the base here, just any decent shaper ES shield, and then I just spammed until I got pretty high energy shields. I would say at least 300 plus, and then once you have that, you just augment defense. It's the only suffix that is defense is the ES unblock, so the ES unblock is super easy to get. You can very easily get a better one as well. I'd say the most important thing that I would want would be higher spell block, like a natural spell block roll. So if you see now, I only have 70, 56. These I use a Hunter Exalted Orb on. Before Hunter Exalting them, I had Deafening Essence there with that, and then I did Augment Speed, and I didn't hit higher than 25. I struggled and tried hard to get higher because it is item level 86. And then I did remove defense, aug defense until I got a high energy shield. And then when there's, when I had int and fire res as suffixes, I did augment with critical, and then the only critical suffix is the tailwind. So these are also very easy to make. Enchant that are nice is either attack and cast speed or the movement speed one. They're both really good. And then finally, we'll talk about the chest. I actually just wanted a Crusader chest here. I didn't want Redeemer at all. The only reason I awaken orb this is because I tried multiple times to get one of my many chests to get Crusader influence. None of them hit. They all just hit bullshit. Elder, and then Redeemer, and something else. So, but I had a Redeemer of Al Regalia, and I had a random ass Crusader one. So what I did was I rolled Intelligence on the other Crusader chest, and I rolled effect of non-curse auras from your skills on the Redeemer one, and then I Awaken Orb those together, and I hit, I can't remember what the prefixes were, they didn't really matter, but I hit sadly the mana recovery, and then obviously you're guaranteed the Intelligence and the aura effect. The aura effect gives me around 500,000 DPS, so it's not a ton considering we are a crazy high damage build, and it gave me 300-400 energy shield. So it's just something, and it made me able to force Crusader onto a Val Regalia, which is what I wanted. So Explosion's very nice for dealing with corpse removal. And then for the prefixes, that's super easy. I removed all the other prefixes, and then I did Augment Fist 3 times, and that you're guaranteed to get the Crusader Explosion then, because it's just the fist damage taken as, you have Thorns, and then the third one is the Fizz Explosion. That's very easy. Once I did that, I did remove Lightning, and then remove the physical, and then you have a 50-50 that it removes the explosion, or 50 that it explodes the that removes the thorns. If it removes the thorns, you're good. You just do augment defense and then remove defense, aug defense until it hits the high tier 1, either flat or tier 1 percentage, and then craft the last one. That's what I did. And if it removes the explode, then you have to start over again, and just obviously only with the prefixes, right? So there's no risk. It just takes a certain amount of time until you get it. So that is all the gear. We'll talk a little bit about the cluster jewels. These were very, very easy with Reforged with defense, because Veteran Defender is one of the few defense mods on this. Other than that, I ended up doing a lot of like remove and remove attack, add attack until I needed one with Fuel the Fight and one with Dread the Destruction. So I have mana and life leech. And then yeah, Veteran Defender on both of them, and then Martial Prowess on this one. If I had another Cluster Jewel, I would reroll, so I had another good one here. Now let's talk about the jewels, because these are a huge core part of the build. I've had a few people that are like, you know, trying to follow along without the guide, and they're struggling a little bit. Some people have had better gear than me and been doing less damage. And why is that? Well, they didn't have good jewels. Jewels is the cornerstone of any build. It's like really what takes builds to the next level. So here you can see, these are actually pretty easy to make. I rolled this with all alterations until I got intelligence. Then I did augment defense, and then I did augment caster mod, and then remove caster, add caster until I got tier 1 onslaught. Getting a really nice searching area for this, actually pretty doable. As far as all of these, I spammed attack mods. I did the reforge attack mods, and then I also played around quite a lot with remove attack, add attack, until I got really nice jewels. I also tried corrupting quite a lot to get corrupting blood, but I didn't really get any. Oh no, actually I'm lying. I did get a nice one. That is a nice one. It's just, you know, it's damage instead of attack speed. Ideally you want like triple attack speed and int. But I can't really complain. As far as crafting blood jewel goes, that's disgusting. Some people I've seen have like, you know, defensive clusters here. Fuck that. Just go for the damage. You get so much ES on this anyway. I can like finish off my rings with slightly higher defense, and I'll have 11k defense and a stupid amount of damage. You don't really need like 14k ES on this. Best defense is a strong offense. So jewels, super important. This is my nicest one. It has 23% increased attack speed. It's 1% off perfect. Or is it 22? But yeah, the int and triple attack speed is like generally what you want to go for. Hope you guys are enjoying the Craft the Build series. Hope you guys are enjoying all the videos. Best way to support is probably subbing on Twitch. And yeah, thanks for everything. Have a great day, and try to die less than I do.